All right, we're speaking with comedian Brad Upton. Brad, thank you very much for taking the time to join me this morning. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
We were actually talking about something you touch on in your act, and that is payphones. We were talking about this yesterday, and it's not so much that there are actually payphones still in existence, but it was an expression that went along with payphones. Now, for people who don't know, Brad concentrates on, I guess, Gen Z and younger and how some things baffle that particular age group that maybe people of our age grew up with. So we talked about the expression, hey, it's your dime. And we talked about how people of a certain age get it. People under a certain age would be like, I don't even know what that means. Or they may even say, hey, what's a dime? Right?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and
there's a bunch of songs like that. Remember Jim Croce's song "Operator" about telling the operator to keep you've been so much more than kind. You can keep the dime, and I'm sure people hearing that go, "What does that mean?" I don't understand that line at all.
Even people of our age who are saying, "Wow, you met a nice operator." That's pretty rare.
Yeah. Well, people just going, "You talk to the operator?" Yes, that's how you used to do it.
Yeah, and then calling for the time and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is the kind of stuff that some of the stuff you cover in your show, and the YouTube specials are hilarious, the dry bar stuff, and it's fantastic. The best thing about it, and this is not a knock on your act or all, but it's free. That's why I like it, because I'm just
free's good.
You used to be a teacher in elementary school.
Yeah, I taught fourth grade, and then I decided to do, I wanted to do stand-up, so I gave it a try, and then I realized very quickly that entertaining a room full of drunks and a bunch of 10-year-olds is the exact same job. The skill set is identical.
There's just less paste and watercolor.
Yeah, less paste and and more alcohol, but I think there's more alcohol. But it's the same thing. You're standing up in front of people trying to keep their attention while some people don't want to pay attention. It's the same thing.
There's a comedian from here in Worcester named Jimmy Cash. He's been a elementary school janitor for 20 years, and he kind of says the same thing. He's got a lot of great stories about dealing with the kids and the teachers and cleaning up after them.
Well, when I was teaching, I taught for 7 years. I never made more money than the janitor. And I was like, "What am I doing? I should be back there by the in the steam room, sitting there with that guy."
Right, refilling the brown paper towels that never work and throwing the useless sawdust on the vomit and stuff like that. Yeah. So, as your experience as a teacher, to kind of go along with your criticism of Gen X and younger, what do you think we should be teaching kids in school? Like as far as life skills go?
I think they should understand how rent works and, balancing a budget, how money works. They don't have any concept of it because money doesn't go through their hands anymore because you remember when your wallet was empty, you were broke, right?
Right.
Okay, there's no more money in there. I can't buy anything else. Well, now you can just keep charging stuff, and I don't think they get it.
I remember when if you didn't get money out before the end of business on Friday, there were no cash machines. You were SOL, as they say. You had to look in the couch or something for change.
No, there was no. You weren't buying anything. If you didn't have cash, you weren't buying anything all weekend. You were mooching off your friends.
There's another thing. You cover a lot of stuff, and not just with Gen X and stuff, but just stuff people should. You cover stuff that deals with common sense. It seems that there's getting to be less and less of that these days.
I say that the new pandemic is dumb and selfish. That's the new pandemic.
Like, for instance, we've had a lot of bears wandering into people's yards here in New England, and there was a local game warden saying, stay away from the bear, get inside, all these basic things. But the last thing he says, please don't try to take a selfie with the bear. It's going to end. And it's stuff like that. Do you think social media is causing this lack of common sense?
Yeah, because people want that cool picture. And then to take a selfie with a bear, you have to turn your back on it. You know what I mean? You see these people in Yellowstone turning their back on a buffalo, and you're like, oh, you're an idiot. You're a special kind of idiot. Don't turn your back on that animal. But you see it all the time.
I like social media. I think social media is fun. I try not to let it take over my life, but I feel that, like the internet itself, I think is a great thing. Like if I need to, fix a toilet, I can get on YouTube and find out how to fix a toilet. I'm so very grateful for that. Is this part of evolution? Is this it? Are we experiencing some kind of a milestone in evolution here?
We might be. I hadn't thought about it, but when you word it like that, we might be. A bunch of these people are weeding themselves out, so maybe that's a good thing. I agree with you. The internet's wonderful, but social media, and I'm guilty of it too. Spend way too much time on there.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when you say as a comedian, it's kind of part of your job, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. You have to be on there. You have to be on there and post all the time and interact with people. And sometimes I wish I could just ignore it.
Yeah, I always say if I didn't have a radio job, I'd have a dumb phone, just talk and text.
Yeah. Imagine that.
I know. Well, I can. I lived through it already. So did you, right?
Right. That's right. Exactly.
We had phones you couldn't take out of the house, for crying out loud.
No, I remember when they first started, when cell phones came along, I don't need one of those. I don't need one of those. I don't need one of those. Now I'm staring at it all afternoon.
Like nobody's using their phone as a phone anymore, pretty much.
Oh, no. I had the first thing I bought one of those Nokia ones. Do you remember those little Nokia phones? And it had the game Snake on it. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I started playing Snake, and I was like, oh, this is all right. And then, now look at us.
Do you ever, worry that you'd be like the get off my lawn guy? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. But I make fun of boomers too. I jump on them. I'll tell you what boomers are the worst at, speaking of phones, is FaceTiming. God, stop it, boomers. Stop it. Quit it. I mean, when we were younger, we had phone booths because phone calls were supposed to be private. But apparently we've forgotten. And now you hear Nana talking to her grandchild in the airport all afternoon, and I want to smack them in the head.
Or else they're doing it by accident. And then they can't figure out why they're seeing their own face. And you also you touch on this thing where you're talking about the Olympics, and you say that they should pull on the track part, they should pull someone out of the stands just to show, with contrast, how fast the Olympians really are. Did you see that?
Don't you think?
Yeah, well, I always said, you kind of touch on it again with like the tug of war thing. I always thought that they should have 2 Olympics. And then in sports, they should have 2 leagues like baseball and football. One league traditional, one league just do all the drugs you want.
Yeah, I've heard of that. To get juiced up and see what you can do.
Yeah. Did you see that video recently of the Somali runner in the 100-meter dash? Okay, so apparently, they get up, they go to start, and there's this woman. It's a woman's 100-meter dash, and it's at the like the Collegiate Olympics in China. And so they get up to the starting points, and I'm looking at this one woman who's kind of built like me. Like somebody who's been working in radio for 30 years, and I'm like, she must be super fast. That's it. They start. The winning time was 10 seconds. Her time was 22 seconds.
Oh,
I believe. She wasn't even trying. And apparently someone in the Somali Ministry of Sports or whatever, it was like a family member that they just kind of got in there.
Hey, you want a free ticket to go to China?
Right.
You're going to have to run 100 meters. Well, that sounds easy enough.
Yeah. So
wow, no, I'm Googling that as soon as we hang up.
Yeah, because I'm saying it's life imitating art, man. right there. Right.
Yeah, people don't understand how fast those people are. And now you see somebody like that, and you go, whoa.
December 8th, you're at the Colonial Theater in Laconia, New Hampshire. And then, it's December 8th. And then December 9th, you are at the Nashua Center for the Arts. Really nice place and beautiful.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. You ever been?
I've performed in 46 states, and one of the 4 I have not been to is New Hampshire. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Was there a reason for that?
No, just routing. I mean, I live in Seattle, so to get to New England, it's like, well, I'll get there one of these days, and one of these days is finally here.
Brad Upton, thank you so much for taking the time today. Really appreciate it. Everybody should go watch We'll Be Funny for Money, and also I'm Not Done Yet, both on YouTube right now. For free, yes. Which is the best price ever. So,
yep.
All right.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Brad. Thanks for taking the time, man. Good luck on the tour.
All right. Take care.